Hello, boys and girls. We are here for a new episode of the series Peasant to Pope, episode number 16. There have been some good things that happened since our last episode, some bad things, maybe only one bad thing, let's say, but mostly good things. We are still in a promotion contention. We are close to finishing the season. Stay close. First things first, let's start with the bad things and then we will go progressively through the good things that happen in our save Peasant to Pope. We are managing Benevento in Serie B, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do it right now because episodes will flow on this series and on other features, challenges or experiments on this channel. So, Jesus Vallejo, our captain, we couldn't keep him. The board came and said, okay, you need to sell him because we get an offer that is too good. He had a minimum fee release clause of 11 million for any clubs that are outside of our normal league, outside of Serie B. So any side could come and buy him for 11 million, but then the board received two offers and they decided to accept both of them. First one was from Porto, 10 million, 7 million straightforward and 3 million through installments, and the second one was from Napoli, a little bit worse on payment terms, 5 million straightforward and then another 5 million in installments, and he chose to go to Napoli. Now, of course, we are right now we are a selling club because he was our captain, probably the best guy that we had in defense, one of the best quality guys that we had in the team, so one of our best players, but we couldn't keep him. 10 million is not much for a club that is fighting for promotion in Serie A, especially if we want to achieve something in Serie A. Now, there were some other news that happened through the transfer window. 3 other transfer outs that you probably don't see here, just above my head. Alessandro Malva left for Parma for 375. He didn't perform quite well this season. He is a very young striker that has some potential, but he wanted to leave because he wanted much more games. I gave him 7 matches in the first half of the season and he was not very happy. The same thing with Giuseppe Di Serio, who is now on loan at Regina. We don't have such a big loan fee, very small, but he's playing for Regina also in Serie B. He wanted to leave because he was not content with the number of games that he was getting, only 10 games this season. For me, I tried to make him our first striker in the team, but he didn't perform as well as I expected. He didn't score as much. He only scored 3 goals in 10 matches. Probably I want also too much from a striker, so I don't know. Maybe we can use him next season. If we get promotion, he can be like a backup striker or something like this. If he wants that, if he doesn't want to still go somewhere else to play more. Then we managed finally to sell Johnny Quinones.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was. Huh?
From Ecuador. He went to Barcelona, the local side in Ecuador. He didn't play that much lately. He used to play before I came to the club, but I feel like he was well below in standards compared to Caio or Mattia Viviani that we have in our midfield. And speaking of our midfield, we managed to brought in one of the guys that was pretty much our nemesis from Brescia. Brescia is still in first place in Serie B. We managed to bring in Tudor Baluzza for a fee of 2.8 million. I think it's high fee, but I think that he's also quite young, 26. He can play 3-4 years, and he may be quality for Serie A. He can provide some backup there. He played quite a few matches for us, and I think he is on the level of Caio and Mattia Viviani. On top of this, we managed to bring also Isaac Success, Nigerian striker from Brescia. Also, we try to diminish their powers a little bit, Brescia's powers, who were on first place since the winter, so they are still on first place. Unfortunately, by bringing these two players, we didn't manage to beat them, to defeat them in the league, but you see Isak Success scored 7 goals for them in the first half of the season. He scored 2 goals for us, but he is also playing on the left wing, not necessarily a striker all the time, and he's not necessarily nailed on the first 11. Outside of these two, we brought in Alberto Moreno on loan, a loan that was already arranged since a few months before the transfer window. So he's coming on loan. His contract will expire this summer, but we didn't decide yet if we want to prolong this loan. He's 32. To prolong his contract, I mean to offer him a contract. He's 32, but he's on very good quality. I think he's better than Nico Schulz, even though he's 1 year older. But he played very well so far. You see here an average rating of 7.14 from the left back. It's very good for Serie B. Of course, you know that he was a first team starter, let's say, or a very reliable guy for Villarreal, and in the past for Liverpool and Sevilla. Lately, he was playing for Verona in Serie A, and I like this transfer a lot. Then my director of football brought in all these young guys also for this year. Due to the fact that we had to sell Jesus Vallejo, we brought in Adama Sumaoro from Parma, 250k euros. He is good. He can play because we didn't have a central defender, so we needed to bring him in. But I don't know if I will keep him on a long term. I offer him a 1.5 years, so 1 year and a half contract. So he still has 1 season after we finish this one. 32 years old. I don't know if he's quality for Serie A, but we will try to keep him as much as we can. If we are looking at the table, ladies and gentlemen, in Italian Serie A, we are on second place, 3 points below Brescia, because we slipped a little bit. We have 3 draws in the last 3 matches, but we are still 1 point above Parma, and I think we kind of secured our first top 3 positions. I don't think that we will go below Perugia, no matter how bad our form will be until the end of the season. We still have 7 matches, so a little bit of time until we finish the season, but I'm quite confident. And if we take a look at the fixtures, I put them in a very nice layout that we will keep going forward, where you have here the formation on one separate column, then you have the results, and then you have the attendance and the TV money that you can see just above my head here, which I hope that they will be much bigger amounts in Serie A if we get the promotion. And if you remember, the last match that we had was against Perugia. Then we managed to keep an unbeaten run for, I think there are 14 matches so far, unbeaten run, which is kind of amazing. I didn't expect to have so many, but this brings us only in second place in the league, which I think that we can keep, given the fact that we have a schedule that is not very tough. We have Vicenza in our next match at home. If you see, our attendance is also at home have increased in the match against Salernitana that I thought we were going to win, with Tudor Baluza scoring in 86th minute, but then they scored again because we didn't manage to go defending or cautious a bit, to secure the result. So they scored. They were a little bit lucky also. Against Monza, it was a very interesting match because I digress, but you can see that the match was very interesting at 3-3. Monza kind of our rival, since if you remember a few episodes ago, I had to choose between Monza and Benevento. The two teams were pretty much equal, but Benevento had a little bit better financial situation, so I choose Benevento. 3-3. They scored 2 goals in the first 22 minutes through Leonardo Mancuso and Federico Marigosu. We made some changes in the tactics. We made a bit of changes. we went a little bit more attacking, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit faster in tempo, and we managed to score just before the break through Rasmus Højlund, 31st minute, and then Roberto Lopez through a penalty in 41st minute. So we were really attacking, we were really in their box, in their final third, and we had a lot of shots. Then Rasmus Højlund scored again in 49th minute, and we kind of lost it from there because we didn't attack anymore and we were kind of complacent. I think that complacency becomes an issue when you are in the first places in the table, and also when players feel that they can win very easily, and complacency becomes an issue. I think it was also the case with Salernitana in the next match and so on. Then Leonardo Mancuso scored in 83rd minute, and we weren't able to reply to that in any way. So it was a very interesting match overall. There was also a big mistake from Daniel Bachmann at the goal of Leonardo Mancuso. So not only complacency, it's also concentration, focus, that kind of players kind of lose it when they feel that things are going well or very well. Then we managed just a draw 0-0 against Spal away. Here we weren't that great. I think it wasn't our day. We are playing Vicenza at home in a televised match. Then we will play Catania, who are really fighting for their life. Ternana, who is pretty much relegated, also at home. And then we go away to Crotone. A bit tougher match here. I'm hoping to get as many points from these matches, because then we will have Brescia and Perugia will be two of the, let's say, harder, the most difficult matches that we will have in this end of the season, and the last one will be against Padova, that I think we can nail on the 3 points, and we will most probably need it. I hope that it will not go through the wire and we will manage to kind of get an advantage over Parma in the next few matches, so that we don't go with the emotions of not achieving automatic promotion until the last matches. We move forward to the match we are about to play. We play Vicenza, well, Cesena will play Spal. Brescia did not play. No, they already played. They played Regina and won 2-0. Parma also won 1-0 with Alessandria. So we are on the spot here. We need to win absolutely in order to get back to second place, which is our objective. We are going to play a little bit more offensive. We are going on attack this time, and we are about to bring in Mattia Viviani with Baluzza here in the middle of the park, with Højlund on the wing, along with Roberto Lopez and Isaac Success as our lone striker on pressing forward. Alberto Moreno will be a wing back, and Doherty will be here helping the defense. There might be an issue with complacency here, as there might be also an issue with morale, because people are quite happy, and when they are happy they might not be playing at their level. They need to be ambitious and determined, and they need to want to win. Baluzza now. We have a highlight in the first minute of the match. Viviani. This is because we are playing attack, I think. I hope that. Højlund wins the header, and now Alberto Moreno with the second there. He can cross. Good cross, and Lopez. We score in the first minute. Roberto Lopez has been in terrific form this season. Slipped a little bit in the past 2-3 matches, but he has been an amazing contributor to us. Great there, you see, on the second, scoring with his feet, scoring with headers. He's also our first choice for penalties, unless there is someone with 2 goals or something like this. I try to give also Rasmus Højlund the possibility to score a penalty. We need a win here. So, oh, Carlos Daniel, but Bachmann is there. We are playing, of course, with a high line. We are still playing attacking. We have the possession. We have one of the best possessions in the league. I think our average is around 61%, which is much higher than any others. Now Højlund, Isaac Success is there. He can pass, but Baena is a little bit too slow. Doherty now with a long ball. Højlund. And Roberto Lopez with a second. Yes, we are there. We are there. 2-0 against Vicenza in the first 20 minutes. We just need to keep this kind of result. We will go to positive from attacking, so it helped us to go attacking from the beginning. As you can see, our XG is below Vicenza, but we managed to score twice. And now De Marino on the far post. It was a very nice corner execution there from our opponents. 32 minutes. And Roberto Lopez, with a hat-trick! Roberto Lopez with a hat-trick within 33 minutes. Amazing free kick, amazing free kick. I'm glad that I put him above Alex Baena just a few weeks back, because our first free kick taker, if you remember, is Caio, who is on the bench now. Giacomo Caio, amazing free kick taker. He scored 3 or 4 last season. He scored also a couple this season, but then after him the next one was Baena. Gatti and Højlund is there. I hope that we don't do any mistake. And I changed Baena with Roberto Lopez. That was what I was trying to say. And Capezzi with a long shot, but it is above the crossbar, so we will need to try and kill the game a little bit. We are now playing very direct passing, but we still have most of the possession. Alberto Moreno, I like when I see him on the ball. Now Carlos Daniel. Doherty was caught up a little bit high there. Carlos Daniel. Missouri, and now Zonta scores. But was it offside or not? A great pass from Missouri. I don't know why we didn't have Zonta there, but let's see. Yeah, the goal is disallowed. VAR is having a great day. We see here, very near, very near, but it was an offside. Not a lot in there. We have already 3-0, so we kind of killed the game. I hope that in the second half things will go as smooth as in the first. So we are going with a balanced mentality. We change a little bit the mentality. We are going through to play much shorter passes. We are not going to play that direct in the second half. I hope there will not be a lot of highlights. We don't need highlights when we have 3-0. We also need the points, because you see we are in a promotion contention. Of course, a win here helps us a lot. I made 2 substitutions. I brought in Sofian Kiin for Rasmus Højlund, and I brought in Giacomo Caio for Mattia Viviani. So not a lot of highlights in the second half. It seems that our tactical changes were great, and we kind of killed the game. We needed to see out the game. It was very important to get the 3 points. And indeed, a second half without highlights, ladies and gentlemen. So a hat-trick from Roberto Lopez within the first 33 minutes. We have a very, very good match against Vicenza, and we are still second in the league table. We have still 6 matches to go, so let's hope we will get promoted. See you next time.